Hey, Black woman. Hey. Finally got it together. So let's start Black Woman's Vibes, Black Woman Friday live streams, right? With Aaliyah's back and forth. Let me see you. Let me see you. Now that we have set the mood, let me introduce myself. My name is BCA, and you are on the Black Woman Vibes platform on YouTube. So today's Friday live stream, Black Woman Friday live streams, will be about culture vulture. Now, this is a conversation a lot of people have been having for the last couple of years where people are saying other people of other races or genres or ethnicities are culture vulturing specifically off of Black people. Now, I don't necessarily disagree with culture vulture claims and people saying there are people who are financially gaining or socially gaining off of cultures or aesthetics that Black folks cannot capitalize off of. Like, for example, um, box braids were then turned to boxer braids. You know the essentials that we used to get when we was kids? We still get. I still get. White folks started wearing them, white women started wearing them, and they turned it into something else. When Black women wore, the name plates you would get with your little name, little fake gold chains you would get. They used to call that ghetto, but when white girls do it, it's fashionable. And someone on social media even created the term ghetto until deemed fashionable. And it's true, there's a lot of aesthetics and things that Black folks, specifically Black women, create, but we don't get credit until someone else does it or someone else makes it mainstream or white palatable. And this conversation kind of sparked, or this idea for this conversation kind of sparked with the whole Nipsey Hussel funeral. If y'all don't know, I don't really do death. Death ain't really my thing. I don't really like talking about it. I don't like being around it. Funny thing is, I do like thriller movies, and I can digest horror movies, not so much blood and gory. I don't really do blood and gore, but I can like watch it. But real death, real time and space, I don't really mesh well with. But with Nipsey Hussle's funeral and just his murder in general, it just showed the vulturism in people, the vulturism in people. From people having these long dissertations about how they knew Nipsey Hussle, how they were diehard fans of Nipsey Hussle, how Nipsey Hussle was their guardian angel and he was their bestie. Nipsey Hussle was the second coming of Christ. He was Tupac number 2. And I was like, where was all this energy when this man was alive? Nipsey Hussle was never in y'all's top 10. Y'all never claimed Nipsey Hussle. You knew who he was. You knew he was a California rapper. But let's be real. People weren't checking for Nipsey like everybody is all of a sudden checking for Nipsey. And it just baffles me how altruistic people can be. But I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, social media is the epicenter for CultureVulture and just vulturism in itself. Like, whatever someone puts on social media, they could be dragged for it. Their real world and social media worlds can blend, and someone tries to get them fired in the real world. And that has happened a lot of times, especially for racist or insensitive commentary. People have been delighted in people's downfalls. I mean, we were just dragging Khloe Kardashian not just a month ago. People are elated for people's success, hashtag Black Girl Magic. So social media is in itself altruism. You have people whose whole businesses, platforms are based off of commenting on other people's lives, whether it's on social media or whether it's in the real world. People's whole existence or whole platform is vulturism. And a vulture is a bird that basically eats decaying carcasses. That's what it does. That's what a vulture is. It eats the dead. It eats the bottom feeder. Like, that's what a vulture is. So a lot of people do engage in vulturistic things, whether it's gossiping, whether it's blogging about other people's misfortunes, whether it's exploitive tactics. We as a society in this technology age, we engage in vulturism. Hey Mel, did you see how black men tried to dox Ashley for her sister's correct tweet? I did see that. I saw a lot of people commenting on that. A lot of people were upset about that. And I'm like, y'all got to understand, these men do not like you, do not care for you. It's groupthink. It's like a cult. This whole black community thing is a cult. If you don't act in accordance, they will humiliate you. They will deplete you. They will try to deteriorate you in real life. They will try to get you doxxed. They will try to take your job away from you. And she's a lawyer in herself, so she's protected. Like, she can say what she wants to say. She's a lawyer. She knows the law, so she's not getting fired. But this is a great example of how Chrisette Michele was paid to perform in Trump's inauguration. Baby girl can't even get booked for a legitimate job. She's been canceled. People look at her, people talk about her, they talk about her as if she's dirt on the ground. Meanwhile, Negroes want to give Kanye West 150 chances just so he can shit on you again. Just so he can tell you that Trump is his daddy and that he supports Trump and slavery was a choice and he doesn't believe in racism. He doesn't believe in classism. Like, you're giving Kanye all these excuses for his fuckery that you would never give Chrisette Michele. What's the difference? Oh, one's a woman, one's a man. Both black. I think Chrisette Michele, if I'm not mistaken, is also from Chicago. But you don't give her the pass that you give Kanye. And someone might say, well, Kanye has mental illness. So does Chrisette Michele. I think she battles depression. She also, I believe, has bipolar. That she has her own mental illness. But y'all didn't give Chrisette Michele a pass. She was just doing her job. She's an entertainer. She gets paid to perform. That's her job. But no one gave her a pass. Like, y'all stay giving Kanye a pass. And Kanye consistently gives you his ass to kiss. But then again, this is the black community. This is vulturism. These men were doing some very unemployed shit. The sad part is, but it's just like, Ashley had in their minds had something to lose, and she's a lawyer. Like, you could get disbarred. Like, she had something to lose. They didn't. So them doxing her was like a delight. Like, ha ha ha, I brought you down to my level. I took away your job. Now you have to obey me. Now you can't talk real about black men. You can't put us on blast. You can't expose us. You know, I'm gonna force you into silence. And I guess in their mind that was a win or a come up. But it wasn't, because she was statistically right. She's a lawyer. She knows her rights. So what could they do? What can they do? Instead of them saying, wow, this is statistically how we're moving, this is how the world perceives us, this is how we are showing up in the world, how about we as a collective do something about it? How about us as a collective change the way that we come into the world, how we treat our women, how we treat ourselves, our community, our children? Like, let's be better men. They turn around and throw vitriol. That's their solution. Throw vitriol. And it backfired. But it goes to show you, this is what you're dealing with when you're talking about black love. This is what you're dealing with when you're talking about nothing but a black man. This is what you're dealing with when you say the black community and black first. This is what you're going to deal with. This is what you're going to deal with when you die on the hill of pro-blackness. This is what pro-blackness means, and this is what you're signing up for. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. And then again, black women, as always, came to the scene to defend Ashley, came to the scene to even give more statistical data. But I wish black women would not even participate in that. For example, I'm talking about Jewish and how it's culture and vulturism. This is the culture that we live in. People are capitalizing off of other people's lives. So you have people writing these long dissertations about Nipsey Hussel, how he was the greatest man on earth, and how he was the second coming of Jesus, and he had the Tupac energy, and he was trying to save the world, save the poor, save everybody. But when he was alive, people barely mentioned Nipsey Hussel. People knew he was a rapper from California, but no one really cared about him like that. No one put him in their top 10 dead or alive. Like, no one was checking for Nipsey like that. Besides, if you yourself was in the Bay Area and you knew Nipsey personally or been affected by Nipsey, but the mass community of black folks, hip hop culture didn't recognize Nipsey. So you had people faking it, creating these videos on YouTube, clickbaiting, trying to speak to him in another realm or dimension, talk about how his aura was, how people knew him, what they said about him. People even posted the pictures of him being murdered, pictures of what people on the scene said. No one had any clue for this man who died. Now, I'm not saying Nipsey's a saint. I'm not even gonna front on you. I don't know Nipsey personal. I don't check for Nipsey. I never checked for Nipsey. I know who he was, but I never cared for him or his music like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. But even me, I have some tech. I have some cuckoo. I would never post someone's dead body. My God. But people wanted the clickbait. People wanted the AdSense. So they didn't care how inhumane that looks. Why? Because we live in a vulturistic society. So if I can get more views and I can get more AdSense and I can get more attention, F that this man's dead. F that his family's going through a crisis. F that he's a loss to a community. F that his kids might see this. No, it's about me. It's about what I get in it. Because I don't do nothing for free. I don't do nothing just for the goodness of my heart. I got to get something out of this. I got to capitalize. And you saw that. But it wasn't just with the videos and the social media posts and all these elaborate artistic paintings and photos and dissertations about Nipsey Hussle. You also had people pretending to be the killer. I'm shitty cuz. I know shitty cuz. This, that, and the third. You had people come up with their elaborate conspiracy theory. Oh, Nipsey Hussle was related to Dr. Sebi. Nipsey Hussle was going to expose Big Pharma. Nipsey Hussle's actually the son of Dr. Sebi. Nipsey Hussle this, Nipsey Hussle that. Because it's easier to digest things when it's imaginary. It's a story, it's fantasy, it's escapism. We go online to escape. So you had people pulling things literally out their ass for AdSense, for controversy, to be seen, stringing up these idiotic thinking, idiotic thoughts, idiotic anything. But people, it's vulturism. People want to be seen, people want to be heard. You had people tagging Lauren London. Some people say she's pregnant. Some people say she's not. Some people say she's married. Some people say she's not married. Whatever. You had this woman run into the hospital. She done fainted, and people just keep on tagging her. Oh, Lauren, you and Nipsey are relationship goals. Every broad wants a relationship goals. You want someone else's relationship instead of working on yours. So working on yourself, your self-esteem, your self-respect, your boundaries. You want someone else's relationship. So now, oh, you got your relationship goals. I hope you feel better, Lauren. Oh, did you see my art about you and Nipsey? Oh, God bless Nipsey. Oh, rest in peace, Nipsey. Oh, Lauren, can you retweet this? Oh, Lauren, oh, Lauren. And I'm like, she just lost the father to her kids, her supposed soulmate. She lost a lot of things at this moment. And all y'all can do is tag her and bombard her like she's not going through it enough. Like she said in the funeral, she got a 2-year-old son who may not even remember his father because Nipsey died so early in his life. That's what she's worried about. She's worried about how does she continue on raising the family, continue holding down the family, and losing the love of her life. But y'all want attention. Vulturistic. You want to capitalize off of her downfall. You had people talking about, oh, Lauren didn't secure the bag. Lauren should have married Nipsey. If you know me, you know I don't really care for marriage. I don't really care for children either, to birth children. But if I were going to birth a child, I am getting married. I always believe a woman should have her own bag first and foremost. And if you want to create your own business using his bag, that's fine, but everything should be in your name. I believe a woman should always have her own. I don't give a damn how much millions he has or how many billions he has. That's his. If you don't have yours, you will be screwed. You will be in a situation you got to ask like Emily Beats be in a situation where, oh God forbid, you win the billions and you financing a man who's sleeping with another woman and gets the side chick pregnant, and you financing all of that. I always believe a woman should have her own thing separate of whatever man she's engaged with. Period. I don't give a damn if he is a saint. I don't give a damn if he's Moses. I don't give a damn if he's Jesus or God itself. Have your own as a woman. Point blank in a period. Have your own. I'm not gonna say you necessarily have to establish it on your own. I'm not gonna say that you can't use his to get yours. But once you have yours, It's strictly 100% yours, period. So people are like, oh, she didn't secure the bag because she didn't get married and this and that and this and that. In normal terms, I mean, the average everyday person, I would say, yeah, you don't. But Lauren Hill, not Lauren Hill, Lauren London already has her own money. She's been an actress. She's been in the show The Game. She's also been in the movie ATL. Like she's well known, especially in black spaces. She has her own money. She has her own bag. And that's the first thing I preach to women: have your own. So she's secured in the sense of she has her own money. She's not the average day girl who's working at McDonald's and happened to get with a rapper. She's not the Black Chinas or the Summer Bunnies or the Selena Powells of the world. Like she had her own. And she got with a man who had his own, and they did what they did. So for the average woman, I would say, yeah, you better get yours. And if you don't have nothing and he has it, you better make sure that he's able to break you off and willingly able to break you off so you can have your own and separate that. But during the process of her grieving and going through this, people want to make videos about how she didn't get the bag and she was stupid for not getting the bag and not securing the bag. And I'm like, baby mama, Beyonce, on and off girlfriend, wife, whatever you are to this man. If you truly loved him, you truly give a damn about him, you're going to go through it, regardless of your status within his life or the status within the law. You're gonna go through it. And the last thing you need to be hearing is, "Oh, you dumb because you didn't secure the bag." Again, she don't need Nipsey's bag because she has her own. And if anything, she could always. People knew they were together. People knew that they were a couple. His mother can vouch for her existence and vouch for their relationship, and she has his kid. So it's not like she's an average chick working at Bojangles trying to call this dude up for child support. He's dodging and ditching her. It's not like she has to drag him to court and get lawyers involved. Like, if anything ever happened, from what people have been saying about Nipsey, he seems like the type of dude who would take care of his child regardless, take care of London regardless. And if he does have assets and properties and whatnot, I think the way they've been living and the way people can vouch for their relationship, she'll get his. She'll get whatever he has. And since she's very cool with the family does accept her, I'm pretty sure they would have no problem splitting assets up and doing what they got to do. Lauren is not the average chick off the street. She's pretty successful in her own right. But it was just, again, vulturism, capitalizing off of the conversation of black women not getting married, black women are always becoming perpetual baby mamas, capitalizing off of this death so you can get clicks and you can get AdSense. Vulturism. You had people out here um, stalking everything, stalking what the family says, stalking what the friends say. Keeping updates. The man died. His family's grieving. What more updates do you need? You had people come with conspiracy theories saying that, oh, old dude, Eric Shitty Cuz, whatever his name is, killed Nipsey because of the CIA and the FBI and all this other shit. Y'all act like niggas don't kill each other just for the fuck of killing each other. Y'all act like the Bloods and the Crips don't really exist. Like, isn't the pathology of these niggas just to kill, just to kill? Y'all really be acting like this is a new phenomenon. Like, this came out of nowhere. They do it because they want to do it. They do it because it's in their nature to do it. It's in their pathology. There's no amount of white supremacy racism that's going to make me kill somebody that I have no desire to do so, especially someone of my own. You do it because you want to do it and you find no problem doing it. Therefore, you do it. Because if you wanted to stop, you would stop. You would stop pressuring the young kids into trying to fit into what gangbang they want to be. Do you want to be Blood? Do you want to be Crip? If you really wanted to stop it, you would stop it when you see the mothers crying, when you see the babies being left without fathers, when you see your brothers, your cousins, your uncles, your whatever the hell else in and out of prison, bloodshed on the street. If you really want to stop, you would stop. It doesn't take a rocket scientist for you to stop, but you don't want to stop because you think the way of living is right. So you're gonna continue doing it. That's your own pathology. That's not racism. That's not white supremacy. That's you. That's your mentality. So you had people talking about all these conspiracy theories. Um, there's another point I wanted to make. Oh yes, the final point. You had people because all of a sudden people became number one super duper fans of Nipsey. They're the head honcho of the Nipsey Hussel fan club. The family, I guess, rented out the Staples Center to have the funeral, or maybe not the funeral, the memorial. So they were giving out tickets to people within the California area. So you had to be in California to get tickets to go to the memorial of Nipsey Hussle. So you couldn't fly in from Chicago or fly in from New York or fly in from Miami. You had to live in California to get these tickets. So they were doing a raffle. You had to wait in a virtual line in online. So you had to be, you had a certain number that you were in line to get these tickets online. And I think people went to a physical line in, I don't know, some place in LA to get the tickets. So it was online or in physical line in some, I don't know, establishment or somewhere. So they said within 20 minutes the tickets were sold, and the Staples Center, I believe, holds 22,000 people. So within 20 minutes it was sold, and people really wanted to get the tickets. People waited in line. People waited hours in line to get the tickets. And lo and behold, guess what happened? People who didn't get the tickets obviously were upset, especially those who were actual fans of Nipsey, or those who wanted to enjoy the experience, be an experience of seeing a celebrity rapper dead. I don't know. But what also happened, that people who got the tickets sold the tickets. And you know, supply and demand. When something is in high demand and there's low supply, what do? Capitalism, you hike up the prices. No different than there was a storm I believe was going to hit Hawaii maybe a year or two back. And what did the airlines do? A flight from Hawaii into the mainland was like 10 grand. Why? Supply and demand. No different than water in Flint, Michigan. You want clean water? Hike the prices. Why? Supply and demand. So people were selling the tickets to this man's memorial. Because they weren't fans. And even if they were fans, they're not really that pressed. But they could make a quick $400. And tickets were starting, I think at minimum, was starting at $200. And they were selling it on eBay. They were selling it on Craigslist. People were selling tickets to this man's memorial like it was a basketball game. Why? Vulturism. We live in a vulturistic society. And it was interesting watching from afar, seeing how people are moving. The only one commentary that I made on Nipsey Hussle's funeral was death was basically like, these are the things that Black women can learn from the death of Nipsey Hussle. And it was legitimate how-to learning lessons. Be able to grow from your environment, grow from your people, grow mentally, emotionally, physically, because when you don't, you become stagnant. And those people you become stagnant with will turn on you. Speak into existence what you want. Don't keep saying you need haters. Don't keep saying that people want me. They want to come after me. You know, they're jealous of me, because that's when you create the reality of people really sniping at you. I talked about helping people from afar. Sometimes you just need to detach from a certain environment because it's not healthy for you. So I talked about useful information that Black women can learn from the death of Nipsey Hussle, while everybody else was vulturistic over this man's death. And it goes to show, yeah, it's Black folks. Now, I'm not going to say some of the people who sold the tickets weren't Black. I'm not going to say TMZ's white ass wasn't capitalizing off of Nipsey Hussle's death. But just to believe me, it was Black folks. It was Black folks making them videos. It was Black folks making them arts. It was Black folks making those Instagram posts. It was Black folks sharing the death photo. It was Black folks. It was Black folks. It was predominantly Black folks. Vulturism. Now, I should be upset this white girl wants to put on blackface because she wants to be cool. She wants to be racially ambiguous. She wants to have that cool factor. Yet you don't even have respect for your own that you supposedly love and you supposedly care for is death. You don't even have enough respect to be like, I'm not going to exploit this. This is not something that should be exploited. So you want this white girl to not exploit your melanin, but you cannot even exploit your own, who's dead, someone you respect, someone you honor. Oh, okay. Everything starts at home. Everything starts at home. Let me see if you still hear Mel. Read your comment. Um, they don't want to grow. They don't want to develop or grow. These bastards are worthless just to be coddled. They like to be coddled. I mean, these are the same men who talk about white supremacy, racism. I can't do this. I can't do that. But they always talking about the yellow bones that they keep on producing with these non-black women. They keep on colorism though. Racism, white supremacy is the worst thing to ever happen to a Negro. Yet he's always colorist. He's always bragging about his non-black women. He's always bragging about his non-black children. You had YG, another gangbanger. He went to the funeral. He said, I was just talking to Nip. I was just talking to Nip the other day. And I was just telling him, we got to change, man. We got to change, man. Because, we both got, cute, light-skinned, girls. So, we was talking. I'm like, niggas can't even act right at a motherfucking memorial. So this is the time you bring up colorism. If Nipsey was truly the man that y'all say he was, I don't think Nipsey was looking at his daughter and saying, "Oh, thank God she light bright. Ooh, let me check behind the ears. Ooh, it's not dark. Ooh, just like her mama, just like my mama, light skin, team light skin." If he was truly the man that you said he was, I don't think he was colorist. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't know him personally, but I would think he's not colorist. But at this man's memorial, you couldn't leave your nigga shit at the door. You had to bring it to the podium and say, "Oh, we got light skinned daughters," to brag about the fact that light skin is better than dark skin. And YG has put it in his songs before that he prefers light skin. He's so happy that he has light skinned children. And I think I don't know how many kids he has or whatever. But one of the children I saw was a child, it was a baby, and the child looks biracial, Asian, and black. And a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't be upset because it's black men's preference, and that in LA, that's just kind of the thing. Everybody's just oohing and eyeing over biracials, especially biracial women of Asian and black descent. And look, I can't be pressed about what black men say because honestly, I have divested. I don't care. That's why you can't never get me out of pocket and crying and whining and doing all. I don't care. I truly am at peace with my decision and where I stand with black men. I don't care. I do not care. I don't have enough energy to care. Their plight, their fight is not for me. Go take that with your exoticals. Go take that with your non-black baby mamas. Go take that with your red bones and yellow bones. I don't care. I don't care. You've never seen me march. You've never seen me cry. You've never seen me protest. You've never seen me catch felonies. That's not my job. I don't care. It's not my situation, not my plight. But a lot of people were offended per usual, and a lot of black men were caping per usual. It's like, when are you gonna learn as black women to not give? Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Let them do that. The more you cry, the more you whine. Honestly, the more pathetic you look. And the more they know that, oh, I got you. I got you, your back. I got you still angry. I got you still upset. So they keep on antagonizing you. When you just let it go like Keisha Cole, nothing they do or say can offend you because you don't care. And then we'll learn who does care for them. I would love to see a gang of Beckys with Black Lives Matter signs for black men. I would love to see a gang of Beckys catching felonies for black men. I would love to see a gang of Beckys talk about injustices and racism and white supremacy. Non-women, these men have been screwing for the past century. You would think that they would get some policies, an act, something. I would think out of all this time you've been creating all these little biracial babies with these non-black women. Y'all would get something out of it besides a nut. Y'all can't even finesse your mandingo stereotype to benefit you with that good deed, that good BBC on them to get something out of it. You can't even finesse that. The white man, she finesse it. She's capitalizing. She's getting hers. Yeah, not my problem. Motherfuckers have the gall to post his death certificate. Just coofless. Exactly. Birth certificates, videos, eyewitness testimonies, and everybody wants to be a journalist. Everybody with an Instagram account and a YouTube channel is an investigative journalist. People want to act like their little research on the internet is the equivalent of getting a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in journalism. It goes to show a culture of vulturism. A culture of vulturism. And people should have saw that we were going this direction when Rihanna got her ass beat by Chris Brown. The police department leaked that photo to TMZ. Y'all didn't even have enough respect for her, whether she's an artist, whether she's French, whether she's black, whatever the case may be. She's a battered woman. And y'all didn't have enough coof to be like, yo, if this was my mom, if this was my sister, if this was my girlfriend, I wouldn't want people to see her in that image. And I think that's what motivated Rihanna to go so hard in being, bad girl gone, good girl gone bad, and her being so fearless and her being so badass is because she did not want that image of her being a victim being spread out to the world. So people started looking at her different, treating her different. She wanted to gain back her power. And I think that's why she went so left to be like, oh, I'm not that weak chick. I'm not the chick who gets my ass beat. I'm not the victim. The only reason black women are not married is because black men are not getting married. If they are getting married, they marry non-black women. Statistics show that black men, for the most part, yes, they do marry black women. Yes, you got that, black. You got that. But the black women that they do marry are multi-ethnic. They're biracial. They are the Alicia Keys. They are the Beyoncés. They are the Lauren London, if she did get married to Nipsey Hussel. They're that type. They're not the Lupitas. They're not the Lauryn Hills. They're not the Serenas. They're the Lake Bryce. They're the multi-ethnic, just like Tyrese a couple of years ago. What do you want from me? Yeah, that one. He was on the internet talking about, oh, I got me a black queen. I got me a black queen. I'm so happy I got me a black queen. The internet had to tell him, like, she's not black. She's not black at all. She's multi-ethnic. She got a whole lot of things in her bloodstream, but she's not fully black. And his own multi-ethnic wife had to come on the scene and be like, look, I'm not black. I'm like white. I'm like Latino. I got a little Asian in me. I got a little spicy white in me. I'm like 3% black. But Tyrese, my husband, he good people, but I'm not black. So she even had to say, like, I don't know what this fool's talking about, but I'm not it. And I respected that because a lot of biracial, multi-ethnic women love to ride the wave of being so-called black when it's beneficial for them. And then once they get out of the black category, stop messing with black men, all of a sudden there's something else. They're not really black. Reference J-Lo. When she was running around with P. Diddy, she was all black-tastic. She was the non-black chick. Jumping on songs with Ja Rule, talking about me and my niggas. She wanted all types of big booty, urban aesthetics. I'm Jenny from the Block. When she went with Mark Anthony, she was Puerto Rican. She was a Boricua. She's Caucasian. All lives matter. So I'm not shocked. A lot of these non-black women and these multi-ethnic women get out of pocket because black men allow them to get out of pocket. Black men gas these non-black women up, or these biracial multi-ethnic women up, so they can feel big-headed and better than the average black woman. And these black men allow it. And these women think that they are the creme de la creme until black women shut that shit down. And it's funny because oftentimes these multi-ethnic and these biracial or these non-black women, they get boosted by black men in black spaces. But within their own spaces, they don't make the cut. They are not the creme de la creme. They are not the best of the best. They're average. They're mediocre. But in black spaces, all of a sudden, they're the baddest chick. Reference the chicks who are out here doing blackface or whatever they call it, blackface. When you see them without that contouring and bronzing and darker makeup, these broad looks average, average at best. Put all that makeup and contouring and bronzer and 15 shades darker foundation, all of a sudden they look more ethnic, they look more ambiguous, they look better. It's black men who give these people a platform. Because black men want black women to be black-ish, black-ish, but not actually black black. And it's funny because they'll be the darkest of the darkest, darker than the night, and get with biracial women and be shocked that their children don't come out as light as the women that they reproduce with. Reference, what's old boy's name? Gross, Lance Gross. He had he had children with his wife who's Latina, and she's the same complexion as J Lo. She thought them children was gonna look like, I don't know, Kim Kardashian's children. His children came darker looking. And he was shocked because he thought his child was gonna be all type of squirrely and the right quote unquote shade of black. And that child came out darker than he expected. And that was a hard pill for him to swallow. So a lot of these dudes is messed up. Like, I don't got time to deal with no colorism. Why you as a man, it's not doing what you're supposed to do. You don't build, you don't provide, you don't protect. You're not a real patriarch. I just ain't got. I don't want to build you up. I'm not trying to be your mammy. Like, it's not my problem. It's not my issue. Go to Becky. Becky can handle that. Just not Black Girl Keisha. Black Girl Keisha on this side, don't do that. Period. And black men have twice the interracial rate as black women. Black women interracially marry at 12%, and black men marry interracially at 24%. So the vast majority of black men aren't marrying. And when they do marry, it is at an older age. And when they do end up marrying, it is a lighter skinned woman or a biracial woman and a woman who's not phenotypically and racially black. So don't let them get you with that bullshit because they're lying. They're lying. That is just disgusting. Reselling tickets to his memorial is low. Low. And I get it. We're living in an automated system. Like, jobs are being taken, employees ain't paying like they're supposed to, rent is going up the roof, but the pay wages are staying stagnant. Like, I get it. It is hard out here. You gotta hustle, baby. But selling memorial tickets, that's low. That's low. Regardless, that's low for anybody. But Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. But you don't even respect a person in death. And that's supposed to be your icon for the moment. Your hero for the moment. Says a lot about y'all. Says a lot about y'all. Demanding respect, but you don't even have respect for your own. Trash. I don't defend niggas that much. Their asses do not deserve it. They don't. Like, you'll have special cases of black men who do certain things, and I could acknowledge that. I could uplift that. I can give them their flowers. But as a collective, I shall not. I am not going to embarrass myself like that. I will not. The vast majority of black men just are not that man. They're just not. They're not that new. They just are not capable. The fact, and this even plays into, oh, I'm an educated lame. I did the right thing. I went to college. I don't have a felony. I work a 9 to 5. I drive a Lexus. I don't have outside babies. Yeah, it applies to them too. Because though they're not the typical hood burger gangbanger, they're still toxic. They're still colorist. They're mostly unbalanced. Those are the same dudes I said on Twitter the other day. I was like, Trick Daddy and the educated lame have the same argument. They're both mad at women that they can't fuck but want to fuck. And that's why Trick Daddy's always talking about you hoes need to tighten up. Look at this man. He's bloated in the face. He's decrepit looking. He looks like the walking dead. He looks casket ready. He doesn't have a hit. I'm pretty sure he ain't got no more fucking coins. He's He's a ugh mug. Yet and still he keeps talking about women who are not looking for him, not interested in him, not paying him no goddamn mind. But look at him, still trying to get their attention. Why? Because he's hoping that he can tap into some woman's low self-esteem so they could be like, oh no, Trick Daddy, I cook, I clean, I could be your maid, I could be your fuck object, I could do whatever you want me to do. Trick Daddy, look, I'm different. And I'm looking at him, so what? So what? This generation of women don't have personality. We want the bags and we don't fuck for free. Yeah, you're right. You still mad? You still not getting chosen? You still a ugh mug? So what's good? You right. You right. Now what? Now what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just wasting time. Like a nigga would. The non-black women only view black men as a phase. They don't want to marry Tyreek and them. They do. That's that girls gone wild phase where they get sloppy drunk and make up with other girls and eat coochie for like 2 months and they're radical as hell and they effing black dudes and drinking hypnotic and twerking. And then once they phase that out and it's junior year and they're like, oh shit, I want to get married and I want to be respectable and I want to get into corporate society, they clean up their act. And by the time their senior year hits and they're about to graduate, they find them a good little nice Tom from a nice little little nice family. He wants to be a senator. She wants to be a stay-at-home mom, and they make that shit happen. Tyreek is an experience, just like your rebellious teenage years, your little weed head years. It's just an experience, just a little phase, your little black dick here and there. But what you're not supposed to do is get caught up. You're not supposed to marry them, and you're definitely not supposed to breed for them. You're not supposed to get caught up. A lot of these kids in the foster care system, they're biracial, and their mom is white. A lot of these kids who are up for adoption are biracial. There's a good some percentage of biracial kids being neglected and being dropped off by the system. Now these Beckys may not believe in abortion. Some of them will. They will abort fast, quick, in a hurry, and wouldn't give a damn about it. And some of them know how to get around the medical field. Well, they'll have abortions, but it won't be labeled as an abortion. They'll have like a vaginal cleanse of some sorts, where it's a procedure where it cleans out your uterus. But if you are pregnant, it would cause an abortion. But if you know the right people and you got the right reach and you got the right money, you can get that procedure done and it's in your medical file and it's not labeled as an abortion. So these white chicks know how to scheme. They're crafty little bitches. They know how to scheme. So some who may not believe in abortions will have the baby, but they won't keep it because they know having Tyrone's baby will delay them in their opportunities in life. Having an outside baby is going to delay you, period, regardless of race. Because children are the number one indicator of poverty, regardless of who you are, race, whatever it is. Children are the number one indicator of poverty. That's why I do not promote black women having children with a man that she's not married to or having children with a man who is financially inadequate. Because it's women who do majority of the work, majority of the child raising, majority of the emotional labor. And then to be doing that for a broke dude and having his broke kids, I don't think so. And you fighting racism and sexism and stereotypes, I would not advise that. But even Becky knows her white privilege will not be extended to her biracial child. And she don't want that headache. She don't want that static. She don't want to learn how to do cornrows on the baby's hair. She don't want to put up with that. So she'll dump the child in the foster care system and live her repackaged, re whitewashed life and keep it pushing. And if she is gonna have those biracial kids, trust and believe me, she's having a baller's kid. She's having a kid by a dude who got papes. Ask Scottie Pippen. Ask Kim Kardashian. If they're gonna have these little biracial kids with their 4A hair, she knows she should get paid out of it. She's not gonna take a dude. Well, he's kind of broke right now, but I'm just gonna build him up. I'm gonna just ride or die for him. I'm just gonna mule for him. I'm gonna hold him down. He has potential. All he needs to do is be nurtured. I'm gonna be the piece that he needs. I'm going to be the neck that turns the head. No, she don't do that. Becky is a crafty bitch. She gets hers in full payment straight up. She's not doing any wasting of time. There are white women who go to certain colleges specifically searching for a certain type of husband. There are white women who will go to college in the South, like let's say A&E. I believe that's in the South, or Texas University or whatever Southern Ivy League institution, specifically to look for a white man who comes from a well-to-do Southern background, who probably got connections in politics. So there are white women who specifically go to colleges not because, oh, I want to go to Berkeley. I've always seen myself as artistic. Oh, I want to go to UCLA because I like the California atmosphere and the whole diversity. No. White women will specifically go to college because they're looking for a specific husband that will give them a specific lifestyle. And they know that's the target region to get that. Meanwhile, black kids going to college because I want to make mama proud. Now, I want to make something out of my life. White women are here for the long haul, thinking above and beyond. There's certain white women who will say, I believe I'll get married like maybe 3 times in my lifetime. The first husband is the husband that kind of establishes things. The second husband is the husband that I get with and I produce children with. And we go through that midlife trials and errors with. And my third husband is the husband I'm going to be with. And we're going to cruise. He's going to make his money in finances or whatever he does. And I'm just going to, revamp my life, get a mommy makeover, and retire off of his money and spend it well. So there's women who plan out their phases in lives with different men. Meanwhile, black women, struggle love. I'm going to hold it down. I'm a ride or die. Black love, nothing but a black man. I don't care if he poor because, all we need is love. And they're telling you even at a memorial, they don't choose you. Even at a memorial that they don't want you. They want everything but a black woman. But you straight up black love. I don't understand. I don't want to understand. These are not my problems. I don't care. These black men are legit embarrassing us to the world. Reference Kylie Jenner. Exactly. Reference Kylie Jenner. She revamped her whole existence. But you see, clear example. When she turned into a white girl into a racially ambiguous exotical, she started off with Tyga. Tyga was a wannabe up and coming rapper. He had a baby with Black China stripper chick, and he had no money. He had no money. He had no real fame. His claim to fame in his second phase of his so-called career was just being Kylie Jenner's older, creepy boyfriend. He revamped her. She got attraction. She got looks. She started businesses, her businesses in her name, just by the renovation he put into her ear to get the bags, just like Kim. She became the younger, prettier, more vital version of Kim. And now she's close to a billionaire. And when she started seeing that she didn't need all dude, what she do? Kick him to the curb. Within 3 months of knowing Travis, that she pulled from a black woman, she gets pregnant. And Travis has his own money. He's on the come up in. He's an established artist, so to speak. He has his own, but Kylie has a lot more of her own. And what's Tyga doing? Getting his cars free possessed and making singles here and there. His claim to fame in the second half of his career was being an older, predatory dude kicking it with a young chick. Now in his third phase of his career, he's just a wannabe ex-rapper dude who keeps getting repossessed. his things keep getting repossessed. That's what he's best known for now. A colorist man can't even breathe my air. I do not need that aura of self-hate around me at all. Exactly. I cannot wait to get out my community college to go to university to get my degree and find a man who is majoring in finance or maybe find another pilot. What happened to Pilot Boy? But yes, like women, yes, other races of women specifically go to college to find their husbands, and they're trying to find a man of quality who comes from a background where the money is long, generational wealth, and he has a career, he has a future. Like he's a provider. He's in finances, he's in technology, he's in engineering. Like he's not out here going to college mastering in liberal arts and playing basketball. That's not what these women are going to bring back home. That's not what they're writing back home. I met Tyrone. He's really good at his free throws. And, he's very passionate about liberal arts. I think he's the one for me. No, no. I mean, probably do make some pretty good money, about 100K. Probably do make money. They definitely do. Me and Probably Boy are just friends, however, he's a nice dude. Hey, and that's what happens. It's life sometimes. Sometimes it don't work out and you keep it pushing like you're supposed to. That's life. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about vulturism. How black folks really be talking about how these white folks be vultures, and I'm not saying they're not. White folks know how to scheme. They schemed this whole country up out of Native Americans and they slaved groups of people to scheme into wealth. Like, yes, white folks do be scheming, but so does black folks. We live in a vulturistic society. That's why there's certain things that are trending. And once it hits trending and it becomes viral, everybody has an opinion. Because opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So everybody wants to put their spin on it. Everyone wants to capitalize it. Whenever there's like a major issue, like remember Cash Me Outside girl? She did her little stupid thing on Dr. Phil. What happened? They flipped it around and made a song out of Cash Me Outside. That kind of went viral. Those chop it up type of songs, um like cheese, peas, potato, you name it. They made that kind of version with Cash Me Outside. Then Cash Me Outside kind of went semi-famous. She kind of went viral. People were checking for her. Then what happened? She got signed a record deal. And now she's quote unquote a legitimate artist now. She's a legitimate rapper now. Then she got a makeup line from whatever cosmetics. Vulturism. 15 years ago, you couldn't run up on Dr. Phil talking about Catch Me Outside. How about that? People would have been like, you a little badass kid. You need to go to boot camp. You need your ass whooped. No one would reward that. Today, you could be rewarded. You can go viral. Why not? Why not? Because we live in a vulturistic society. Things that were not okay are okay now. Things that were not cute are cute now. Things that were not accepted are accepted now. And that's because everyone participates in vulturism. When you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite. The guys at my community college are kind of fucking messes. I'm not gonna shade community college. I know some community colleges that are like, cool and everything. But community colleges are like, and that's no shade to you. Community colleges are like it's kind of like, how do I say this? Community colleges are like for the folks who didn't have enough either money or dedication to go to a legitimate college. So the best thing that they could do is go to a junior college, a community college, in hopes that they can jump into a quote unquote real college. And community college usually just draws in the rugrats. They draw in either the kids who straight out of high school and needed something to do because their mama told them to go to college, or they draw in the the idiots. They draw in like the dudes who want to smoke weed, make instruments all day, have SoundCloud, party with women, and not be serious about life. But it sounds professional. It sounds like they're doing something that's redeemable. I'm in college. I'm in community college, and they ain't doing shit. They just tricking off time. Community colleges are for people who can't afford university or people who couldn't go to real colleges. It took the words right out of my mouth, Mel. I wasn't even trying to shade. I really wasn't, but that tends to be community colleges. You don't have the best and the brightest at community college typically. You have like the ain't shits. And those who couldn't afford a legitimate college, to be honest with you. And it's usually the ain't shits more than anything else. Hey, Dada. All right, Mel and Dada, this live stream on Instagram is going to end, but I am broadcasting on YouTube. Just go to BlackWomanVibes on YouTube and continue the conversation. So, yeah, I mean, we live in a society of vulturism. Like, we just live in a society of vulturism. Everybody's trying to get theirs off of someone else's. And people don't care. People don't care that you're legitimately grieving, that you're legitimately going through things, that this is a rough time. No. People want to see if they can capitalize off of your hardship. People want to see if they can capitalize off of your pain because we live in a society where the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poor. The Amazon guy, he's worth billions and he's on his way. His trajectory is supposed to be in the trillions. He's supposed to be the first trillionaire. The Amazon CEO. You have people who are multi-billionaires. You have automation. Like we're getting into an um a, a AI world where you're gonna have artificial intelligence. You start seeing that with fast food. You see, you don't necessarily need to go to the cashier. You have these things where you can tap, 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 tap like your phone, and you can pay and order your meal, and then go to the desk, the cashier area, and just pick up. You can even order online. You have Grubhub. You don't have to leave your house to get the food. The food could just be delivered to you. 20 years ago, it had to actually be a pizza shop that offers delivery. It had to be a Chinese food spot that actually offered deliveries. Now you can go to Grubhub, Postmates, um, Uber Eats, and they'll do it for you. So we're into a world where we don't really need people to do their jobs, which means more money goes into the pockets of the employers because one of the most one of the most expensive things in business to pay is your employees because you got to pay them. You got to pay into their retirement. You got to pay them their insurance. It depends on if you offer benefits. You have to pay their biweekly or weekly salary, whatever the case may be. Like you got to pay that. So if you can cut that out, that's one employee less, 5 employees less, 200 employees less. That means all the profits go into your pockets. So you're gonna have the poor getting poorer, and a lot more people, especially in the middle class, being pushed into poverty. Those who are already in poverty are either gonna maintain their level of poverty or get even worse. And you're seeing a couple of the rich or upper middle class trickling into poverty, but for the most part, the gap is just widening. And this is not the time to be out here talking about I'm just gonna love you and we'll just see where things go. And I don't really need a man of means and black love and we can struggle. This is not that time. This is not the time of, oh, I'm just gonna pop out a baby because I know I'd be a good mother and I really want a child and I don't need a man to have a kid. You're right, you don't actually need a man to have a kid, you just need sperm. But that sperm ain't gonna pay that child support. That sperm is not gonna pay that daycare. That sperm is not gonna pay for clothing, for food, for college expenses, and so on and so forth. That sperm can't do nothing but fertilize. So you gotta think strategically. Can you do this on your own? And a lot of y'all might say, "Oh, well, I saw my mama did it on her own. My mama was able to do it." Yeah, but you never spoke to your mom and asked her how much of a struggle that was, how much she had to sacrifice, how much she resented, how much if she could have went back, she probably wouldn't have had you. Not because she hates you, but because of the situation, how difficult it was. A lot of y'all don't consider that because you really think that your parents live and die for you. Or in actuality, your childhood was full of struggle. Imagine if your mother did have more means, if she did have a partner that was really able to support her, how much life would have been different, how many more opportunities you would have had, how many smiles you could have shared, how many times she could have been there when you had your school recitals or your piano classes, or whatever the case may be. How happier she would have been. How quote unquote feminine, because the rumor is black women aren't feminine. How more quote unquote feminine she could have been if she had that support. Do you have to think about it strategically? Babies are not just cute and small and they smell good. They're energy suckers. They're money suckers. They're time suckers. And I don't even know if I want to say it the way I want to say it because people might get offended. But children are parasitic in a sense of like they can't survive without you. And that's a parasite. A parasite is an organism that lives off of sucking the life out of you, whether it's a leech, whether it's a tapeworm. Children, in essence, are kind of like that. They cannot survive on their own. They need you. They need everything from you. So that's why you have to be strategic when it comes to having kids. It's not just I want kids, I'm gonna have kids. Because I was watching a really good documentary over the weekend. I really love documentaries, and I'm really starting to study Stoicism. You can look up more information on Stoicism on YouTube. It's a really good philosophy, and I'm applying that to my life. And I might talk about that later on in one of these Black Woman Lives, uh, Black Women Friday live streams. But I was watching a documentary in, I believe, Thailand, where they were doing a cyber web bust on child pornography. And during the bust, they found out the children that were being exploited weren't only local neighborhood poor children, but it was their families who were exploiting them. One of the girls, I believe her own mama was exploiting her. And her mama's mama knew about it and was okay with it. Because I think they were getting like 40 pesos. No, they were getting something amount of pesos that amounted to $40 American, like US dollars. And they were willing to sell out and pimp out their children's innocence, their children's safety, their children's images for 40 US dollars. Why? Because there's poverty. There's no way of making money. There's poverty. Thailand is a very religious, Christian religious background, religious country. It's very heavily Catholic, so they don't believe in contraceptives. So you have a lot of folks who don't know nothing about nothing, who are uneducated, who cannot get access to condoms, access to contraceptives, don't know their reproductive system, so they don't know if they have regular periods, if they skip the week right after their period, they wouldn't get pregnant. They don't know that. So they're just pumping out kids. They're just pumping out kids. And then they have kids they can't take care of because the economy sucks. The rich are well off, so, they chilling. But the poor mass is poor. So you have the kids you can't take care of. You're not getting money. You're not able to take care of the kids. You're not able to take care of yourself. So now they turn around and say, okay, I'll exploit my kid. I didn't even want the kid to begin with, so I'll just exploit my kid. Maybe I won't sell them on the street, but what's the harm in pitting two kids together and forcing them to engage in sexual activities? It's just over a webcam. It's not really physical. It's not even really harmful. It's not like there's a grown ass pedophile touching them. It's just two kids. They rationalize it. Why? Because they need that 40 pesos or that $40. They need to take care of themselves. They need to feed their kids. So they don't have a problem rationalizing it. And when you see these kids are crying out. These kids are terrified. These kids are traumatized. The school that they go to where they can get some type of psychological treatment, they have a room which is like kind of like the emotional room where it's like a padded wall. And these kids are tormented. They are crying. They're smashing themselves against this padded wall. Like they are in total distress. Now imagine that, being a child and going through that, and knowing that the person who orchestrated this is your mother. Your mother. So those of y'all who are like, oh, and I'll probably pin that video if I find it on YouTube. I'll probably pin it in the comment sections after this, live stream is over. But this goes to show you that this whole I'm just gonna have kids just to have kids thing, and I'm gonna work it out, and I'm gonna just figure it out thing is stupid. As well as it costs your children more than, oh, just go a little bit without. It's just a little bit of struggle. It costs your children their safety, their autonomy, their peace of mind, their innocence. Poverty costs a lot because you're without and you're desperate. And in desperate times calls for desperate measures. And what are those measures? What are those measures? What do those measures look like? How far are you willing to go? And that's why I may be classist and I might be elitist. I might be all that. And you might be right. But trust and believe me, I'm not bringing no kids into the world if they can't have 1,000% better childhood than I had. That they can't have all their needs met. That they have to go without, or they have to struggle, or they have to do things that will question themselves and their morality. No. And truth be told, it's not even that I love money. I just love the safety that comes from money. I love the fact that I got money, my husband got money, and my husband got more money than I got money. That means our children are going to go to school where there's no metal detectors. That means my children are going to live in a neighborhood where there's no pissy stairwells. That means my kids are going to eat foods that are good and organic besides processed foods. Call me elitist, call me classist, but that's what I'm aiming for. And I'm unapologetic about it. And if that's not how I can have it, then I don't need them kids. Because it's going to be a burden on me. And I already know I'm selfish. I don't see myself sacrificing for my kids if I'm already in depletion. I don't have the help I need. I don't have the finances that I need. And now I'm supposed to find this magical space within me to keep on giving and giving and giving and giving and being depleted. And I don't even have nothing of substances to start from, to give from. It's not going to work out. I know for a fact that it's not going to work out. So, yeah, that is my commentary on vulturism, as well as a few other things. Um, I might pull up something real quick. I want to talk about, I don't know if this could be its own separate live stream. Yeah, because I don't want to make this live stream too long. But I don't know. I might be next week, Friday, or it might be sometime in the weekend. But I want to talk about opportunity hoarding because I was brought up in a city and I live in a city where you can see the clear distinction between the kids who don't have and the kids who do have, as well as the kids who do have, how their parents strategically make sure that their children have all the opportunities, whereas the kids who are without don't. Now, they don't publicly and overtly make sure that their kids have and the other kids don't. They just play the game. They know the resources. They have the connections to make things happen. I'll give you an example. Um, and I think NPR Hidden Brains I'm also into, I'm a podcaster, so I listen to other podcasts, and I do listen to Hidden Brains. I like listening to Hidden Brains while I'm getting ready to um, go and record my podcast episode. I don't remember which episode, but they were talking about opportunity hoarding two, I believe. I think it was called. I don't know. I don't remember what it was called. But it talked about how it basically talked about how people of opportunities. I wish I remember what it was called, but basically, Hidden Brains. If you watch it, go through it, listen to it. It's really great information. It was talking about how basically it was talking about the college scam scandal with Aunt Becky out here scheming to get her kids in Ivy League schools. Again, how rich think if my kids can't academically get into these schools, then I will forge my way to getting my children into these schools because you know what, my kids deserve this place more than your kid deserves a place because my kids are special because they come from me, they come from resources, they come from a society that they deserve to be. Yours doesn't, and that in itself is opportunity hoarding. Um, I don't remember the exact episode. I'm not even in front of me, but the example of opportunity hoarding that I want to give you is that I used to work with children. I used to work in childcare, right? And before I started the job, my former boss was talking about how when he was working there before I came along, he talked about how there's a certain number of children you can have in a classroom. The number is 26. So they were full. And that means your child either has to be on a waiting list or your child has to go to another program within the network of programs, but another location. But the child's parent was like, no, I want the child to go to this program in this location. And everyone was telling them, like, hey, you can. It's just not possible to happen. Like, it's full. It is what it is. We can't kick out a kid. And even if we could, it'd just be the next kid on the list. It's not like we could just bump you over everybody else and put you into the program. But because this parent had connections to people within the city, guess what? Next week, that kid was in the classroom. It's about flexing. It's about networking. It's about who you know, not what you know. It's about resource um, hoarding. I'll give you another example that doesn't have to do with children and childcare, none of that. A there was a guy I knew. He was out here slinging penis like Tic Tac. He ended up knocking up a woman. He didn't really know the woman. The woman really didn't know him. Besides the fact that he came from a family with money. So this woman decided to plot on him, whether it was poking holes in a condom or whatever the case may be. She knew when she was fertile. She plotted to get him pregnant or to get herself pregnant through him. And it happened. When she told him she was pregnant, he begged for her to get an abortion. Of course, she was plotting, she was scheming. She's not getting the abortion. She's thinking she wants to come up, she wants to get a bag, and this is why I tell women to get your own. Do not be scheming. Do not think having a baby means getting the bag. When you trap a dude with a baby, you trap yourself. And you will see within the story how she trapped herself, but she did not get the bag. So since the dude didn't have no money, but his parents had money, his parents had connections because they wealthy. His parents found out the judge that she was going to go through to proceed over the child support. But because, again, they are people of status and money, I think the story goes the parents talked to the judge and was like, hey, this is not how it's gonna go. Because in their country, when a woman has a child that she's not married to the child's father, she's pregnant by a dude, but they're not married, the man automatically has to pay for that child. And the man doesn't have money, the woman can go through his family to get the money. So let's say he ain't shit, but his parents or his family is wealthy. Legally within that country, she can go to that country's justice system, not justice system, but system of court system, and be like, hey, I need money. This is his child. They will purposely go to his family and get access to his family's money to pay for that child. That's how the system of things work within that country. So because the mother and the husband had things to, protect because they have assets, they have money. They pulled the judge to the side and was like, hey, work in our favor. Don't let this proceed like it normally does. Well, the story goes, they got the judge who was proceeding over the case to drop out of the case and got another judge to work in their favor. Regardless of how the story goes, the point is wealth looks after for itself. Wealth will do some things, pull some strings, call some folks to work in their order, work in their favor. Wealthy folks do not get to be wealthy, but just, the game of life and playing your role and playing your card is the best hand that wins. No. Scratch my back, I scratch yours. Sipping tea, keep keen, going to rendezvous, going to parties and working your magic. That's how you meet people, you rub elbows, and you become friendly, and they run favors for you. As a whole social network. Whole social network. And they do it for the benefit of themselves and their generations to come and to solidify and protect their wealth. Opportunity hoarding. Now, old dude with the kid, he eventually came around and, accepted the child because it is his child, whether he wanted the child or didn't want the child, it is what it is. Child's here. So he, so to a certain extent, has accepted the child as his. And, he does do what he needs to do to upkeep the life of the child. Because, and believe me, the man's family don't fuck with the baby mama at all. Has accepted the child. Took a couple of years for them to accept the child, but they eventually accepted the child, but they don't fuck with the baby mama. And even though they have come to accept the child, their money, they still got it under wraps. And they got certain wills and certain paperwork to make sure that money don't end up in what they can deem the wrong hand. Now that's opportunity hoarding for that ass. Okay? The rich don't play. That whole, well, everybody should be equal and distribute wealth and redistribute wealth and make sure everybody has an equal opportunity in life. No. This whole country was started off of opportunity hoarding, wealth hoarding, stealing land from native folks, making them damn near extinct, dragging people from one continent to the next to make them work for you for free to create wealth. That whole system in itself just shows that, yes, there will be no distribution or redistribution of wealth. It doesn't work in that manner. They didn't do all of that just so they could be like, you know what, I have morality now. Seeing people bred, seeing people raped, seeing people tortured, seeing people murdered. I didn't have morality for that, but now I got morality. Even when all the religious and Christianity didn't awaken them to morality, but now they're sitting because of you, because of the times we live in AI. Now there's morality. If you believe that you're as delusional as the women in this story, or women like the woman in the story who had a baby to trap a dude. And I think she wanted to trap the dude with the baby, but also trap the dude to make the dude actually want to be with her, because if she's having his baby, then he would, I don't know, magically fall in love with her or something like that. But the funny thing was, not only did she not get the man, she didn't get the money that she wanted. Looks after itself. You're not just wealthy in a vacuum, you're wealthy in a network. So it didn't happen in the favor that she wanted to, but at least she had a baby that I don't know if she wanted or the baby was just part of the plan, but she had the baby. And because she wasn't from that country, she was able to get some papers. I guess it would be the equivalent maybe of a green card in the United States, equivalent of the green card in that country. But whatever, she was able to stay. She had some type of legitimacy to that country due to the child, but she didn't get to keep the man and she didn't get to have the bag. That's why I do not believe in trapping a man for a baby or trapping a man with a baby. Because how that child comes into the world will literally be how he treats that child. If that child came to work through trickery, he's always going to see that child as a mistake, that child as resentment. He didn't want the child, now the child's dead. Now he's obligated to take care of the child, but he never wanted the child. He will never be that full, involved, engaged father because he didn't even want the kid. And then when you trap a dude with a baby, you trap yourself because everybody knows mothers play majority of the world when it comes to child rearing. So you're the one who's stuck doing all that work without having a partner and whatever little money he throws to you at the side. So you think you was gonna trap him, but then you trap yourself. You can't move the way you want to move. You can't put yourself first the way you want to put yourself first. You can't do none of that. Why? Because you got a kid. So all that, oh, the baby's so cute, it smells so clean, and oh, there's my little features. All that goes out the window when you realize that, yeah, you really a mom. You really can't put yourself first. You really can't move the way you want to move. You're really stuck with this kid. While meanwhile, old dude gets to walk the way he wants, talk the way he wants to talk, do what he wants to do, have his own life, be with other women, put himself first, play part time. Yeah, it's you who stuck with that child 24/7, 365. Child sick, you got to call out from work. Child's injured, you got to pull out that medical bill money. Child is eating you out of house and home, you got to still go to the grocery store. Child keeps on growing out their clothes, got to go and get some more clothes. It's you who sacrifices the most as the mother. But to sacrifice the most as a mother when you're not married, so you have no legitimate claim to this man, and especially if this man is broke, is a bad deal. I just would not promote that. I just would not promote trapping a dude with a baby. Because at the end of the day, you got to look at that kid and be like, the reason why you're here is because I was trying to finesse. And if I wasn't trying to finesse and I did go about it the right way, probably you would have had a better life. Probably your father would have been a man that really wanted you, a man who really loved you, a man who really planned for you. But because I was selfish or I was this, I was that, whatever the case may be, you came into this world by way of trickery. And now this man don't even want you, this man don't even care for you. And because of that, that shaped your personality, your experience, and your lack of real child and father relationship. But I guess you're gonna do what you want to do. Like, I'm trying to really find this episode. Damn, it was a really good episode. Hidden Brains. It was during the varsity scandal. I don't remember when that was going on. I believe February. It had to be in February. It wasn't that far. Huh. Nah, that's not it. I'm sorry, like that. I don't know. I can't find the episode. Unfortunately, I can't find the episode, but it was a really good episode. And it's a podcast. It's a weekly podcast. It's called Hidden Brains, and it showed a lot. They were talking about how people with wealth, like it doesn't just start when the child hits college. It starts even from birth. The fact that you get to take maternity leave, the fact that you get to eat gluten free, low cholesterol, um, whatever and whatever food is a way in itself, like showing of class, showing of elite status. The fact that you practice yoga, the fact that your kids experience more things in life. Like they said, they were even talking about spoons, how people used to put a lot of value in um, dishware, and people don't do that anymore because that status symbol has dropped. Just like people would put a lot of status in their clothing and material things, and now they're putting it back into their bodies. Hence the Whole Foods, the Trader Joe's, the farmer markets, people of that arena of the world. And they do that because that in itself is an investment into self, investment into their lives, investment into their overall existence, and their children pick up on that. And if you could habitually shop at Whole Foods, like you going to Trader, or not Trader Joe's, but you're going to like, I don't know, Stop and Shop or Star Market or wherever, whatever your local uh supermarket is called. If you could shop at Whole Foods, like it's the normal grocery store, that is a that is a symbol of wealth. That's a symbol of class and elite. And the kids are able to pick up on that. The fact that your kids are practicing piano at 3, the fact that on summer vacation, some kids are going to summer school, or summer camp. Your kids are going to France. Your kids are going to Italy. Like that, all of that in itself is a showing, and it's a modeling and molding of class, of thinking, of experiences. So when these kids end up applying to college, it's not just I was living a bare basic existence, or I was just struggling and hustling to get to where I didn't want it to get to. No, it's a 18-year process of molding this specific person and getting access and networking to get my child to where they are at today. So it was very interesting. Even things like prenatals, the fact that a lot of people do know about prenatals, but having access to prenatals. Some people don't have access to many prenatals. They cost money. So all of that is an example of opportunity hoarding. Let's see if I can find it on Google. I don't know if I can find it on Google. Anyways, the point is, the point is, opportunity hoarding is a legitimate thing. That was the point. Opportunity hoarding is a legitimate thing. It's a legitimate thing. Parents, there are parents who plan for their children's arrival into the world, and that's the only way I would be able to be comfortable being a mother. Plan your children's existence in the world, not just, oh, well, this is our routine for delivery and how I will want my child to know. Like at 3, this is my child will be engaging in. This is the dietary practices my child will adopt. At 5, this is the child, the characteristics that they would have, the experiences that they would have, the school that they would be going to. At 10, my child will know 2 or 3 languages. My child will be very fluent in playing the piano. Like, this is how people design the lives of their children. And if that means I get to swipe or no swiping and making sure that your child doesn't get in, or I get to pull a tantrum, or I get to call my friend who's at the board of so and so, if that means that my child gets to be pushed up first, yes, people really do that. On average, people really do smile in your face, talk about diversity, melting pot, everybody deserves an opportunity, land of the free, dreamers, and will pull the rug right underneath you and still smile in your face like they didn't do that. Yes, it's a dog eat dog world, and yes, rich folks, wealthy folks, they play the game not just to play the game for experience, they play the game to win. And yes, at the expense of you and your children, unapologetically. I mean, look at old girl, Senator Warren. She says she's Native American. She's clearly not Native American. Why she do that? So she can have a little spice to her college resume, spice to that Harvard um, college entry exam. So she looks a little more spicy, and she plays into the affirmative action quota. So she's not white. She is a person of color now, and she used that to gain access to where she wanted to get to. And who knows if she would have been a senator? Who knows if she would have been a politician if she wasn't accepted into Harvard or she didn't put herself as a Native American? Yes, yes. People really roll like that. People really rock like that. People really plot like that. Yes, yes. And whether you think it's okay, whether you think it's wrong, or you're indifferent, it doesn't really matter because this is it. This is life. So you're either gonna accept it and play so you can get the best deal, or you're just going to be pissy that this is the way people actually rock and roll. But it's not gonna change anything because this is how people rock and roll. I have to find the episode. I'm really like I'm really like going through it all. I'm just like, it was really, really good. It just opened your eyes. It opened your eyes to how, yes, people really do plot. There are people who go to boarding schools and exclusive elite schools, and they will have their child on that waiting list before their child is able to kick. And I'm talking about within the womb. Before the child has the ability to kick within the womb, that parent already has their child on that waiting list. Yes. And when I was in the child care position I was talking about, within that program, parents will literally be scheming for their kids to get within the program so early in advance that they had to close the waiting list and say, okay, how old is your child? And they're like, oh, my child isn't even born yet. They're like, yeah, you can't do that. When your child gets to this specific age, then you can get on the waiting list. But you cannot just take up space just so you can be secured a spot, but F everybody else. But you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know if you are not in those circles, you don't work in those circles, you just wouldn't know. But people do that. People lie about their finances. Some people will say that they're actually single mothers or they're impoverished when really they're making 6 grand. They're making not 6 grand, 6 figures. They're making 6 figures, but they didn't think that you would know that. Or they'll say that they're not married. And then you ask them to bring in documentations, and their taxes say they file as a couple. And come to find out, they're hiding information. That all single mother thing is really, I'm a wife. And yeah, I may make 30 grand, but my husband, he makes half a million a year. Oh no, you see the program. Oh no, 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 no. He don't live with us, or we going through a divorce. There was one situation what was outrageous. Two situations that was outrageous. One situation was a woman whose husband worked at Harvard, and within the program, when you get accepted, you have to put in a. It's kind of like you preserve your spot. It's kind of like a down payment. We don't call it a down payment, but it's basically to preserve your spot. And she's like, "Oh, my child." Then we told her, your child got in. Whoa, whoa, great. She literally asked us, can she get her $100 back? And depending on where you are on the scale, so if you're like low income and you get a scholarship within the program, your down payment would be $10. And let's say you are high earner, your down payment would be $100. So the woman who's a stay-at-home mom, which I don't really see why you need childcare if you're a stay-at-home mom, like, okay, whatever. And it was for preschool. She turned around and says, "Oh, can I get my $100 back?" And we looked at her like, no. First of all, it's supposed to secure the spot. We asked everybody to either write us a check, don't take cash, write us a check or a money order for their, down payment. I can't remember the word right now is, but it's like a down payment, but it's not actually called a down payment. So she was kind of confused. She was like a little pissy about it. And I'm like, your husband was at Harvard. Like I know your goof ass is not complaining about $100. Your husband makes about a little over of $250,000 a year. But you complain about a funky $100 while we have parents who are trying to get into the program, and by looking at their finances, I'm like, I don't know how you're able to survive. Like, this is nothing. So I was looking at that, bro, like, you really trying to get smacked because I know you're not complaining about $100. You not hurting for it. You not hurting for it. Um, Another situation of opportunity hoarding was there's a woman. I forgot if she was working or she wasn't working, but her husband was a firefighter, and her husband made like 100K a year. He had properties, like he had money. But she came to us with the documentation to get her kid within the program. She was like, I don't really make any money. I was on what you call it, like not like cash assistance, but like unemployment, something like unemployment. She's like, I don't have any money. Da 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 da. Yeah, I got a husband, but he's not really in the picture. Blah blah blah. And we asked for her finances. Like, you want to get into the program? Shoot us your finances. So she gave us the finances. We looked at it. I think she gave us her taxes, but she's filing as as a married person, married couple. So we see hers, and it is legitimate. She ain't making no real money. Then we see her husband, and we like 100K, and he got this and that and this and that. He got multiple streams of income. We looking at girlie like, nah. I know you're not trying to apply for a scholarship position when you really, really, really don't need it. And we had to really break it down to her like, scholarship positions isn't on some, oh, I want it, so I get it. It's really on some, you can't afford the program, so we are giving it to you at a reduced price. Like, you don't just demand a scholarship because you don't really want to pay the full price when you can pay the full price thrice times over, ma'am. And she was just sitting here so confused, like, I don't understand. I don't make that much money. That's my husband's money, and that shouldn't be counted. And y'all, we're going through rocky times. I was looking at this bird like, I hate a person who schemes. I really do. But nothing really grinds my gears like a rich person who's complaining about money. Nothing grinds my gears like a rich person complaining about money. Or a person who's well to do complaining about money, complaining about spending money. And we're basically like, look, if you don't like the way the program operates, you could always go somewhere else. Of course, not in that manner, but that was just the undertone. So she obliged and she understood that she was going to get no spot within the program, but she could be on a waiting list. And she understood that if she does eventually get to the top of the list, that we were going to consider her finances and her husband's finances, regardless of what. And she kind of had to eat crow. But yes, this is how rich folks operate. This is how people with money operate. Yes. To reserve themselves at the expense of everyone else, even the poor. Yes. So that is all I really wanted to talk about. I kind of went all over the place. And since we're talking about opportunity hoarding, I think that was what I really wanted to talk about. I said I wasn't going to do it, and I ended up doing it anyways. So let me read you the tweets that inspired the opportunity hoarding. So this is a tweet from Dr. Wikipedia Eve Louise Colorizin. This is what she tweeted. I heard opportunity hoarding poorly defined and discussed on NPR's Here and Now today, and it bummed me out, and it was mislabeled as a psychological concept. It's a sociological one. Same error repeated here in the context below. Opportunity hoarding was referred to as a rare. It's not. An example that was given was of parents in elite schools trying to sabotage other kids by telling counselors terrible things about them to try to keep them out of colleges. Which question mark exclamation points. The term opportunity hoarding was coined 20 years ago by Charles Tilly in his book Durable Inequality. It's an elegant term because it's pretty much is self-explanatory. It describes when one social group disproportionately accumulates and guards access to opportunity. Tilly described a few factors that make it easier for opportunity hoarding to occur. One, close social networks. Two, access to some resources or a commodity that has value. And three, sequestering of resources or knowledge. Here's a brilliant and tricky and terrible thing about opportunity hoarding. It is completely normalized as wanting the best for oneself, one's child, one's children in an environment of scarce resources. It is not outwardly about sabotaging others. That's why it's so common, because the resources in question are finite. The hoarding has the effect of excluding others, but the exclusion is not intentional or even named by the hoarder. They justify it by they justify it because they're trying to get something good for themselves. A parent in an elite school who anonymously calls a college counselor to say that another student in the elite school was doing drugs or said something inappropriate on Facebook is terrible and bizarre. It is not what I call a opportunity hoarding. Have many compelling she you know tagged other people have many compelling examples of opportunity hoarding in their book despite the best intentions, which is about how racial inequality persists in relatively affluent suburban public school. One example, the school in question has lots of tracking, and black students are underrepresented in the honors classes. White parents take a step to ensure that their kids get into these classes regardless of academic ability. And she highlighted within the text, I'm not going to read the whole text, but she screenshot and highlighted, although most white parents talked about their children being automatically tracked into honors or AP classes, some of their children initially received basic level assignments. When this happened, with just a few exceptions, those parents worked actively to get their children into the proper placement, upper level classes. On the next page, they quote a white parent whose child didn't initially get to the placement she wanted. They were very flexible because I'm articulate enough to be able to say, here, let's look at all the facts. It's la di da di da. And they go, oh, okay. That's a classic example of opportunity hoarding. This parent isn't trying to sabotage access for other kids, but trying to ensure access for her own. But because there's finite space in honors class, it means someone else with less social or cultural capital gets excluded. Another example is the whole Stuyvesant specialized school brouhaha in New York City. The school made headlines because seven of the 895 students admitted this year. Admissions is based solely on performance on a single exam. This example has closed social networks. The alums and social groups of people who have gone to Stuyvesant and can make it seem appealing, attainable, or even visible to Black students. Admission to the school continues access to a commodity that has value. And she put that in caps. And last but not least, sequestering of resources, knowledge, and that was in caps. Choosing a standardized test as the admissions criterion is in itself an example of such sequestering. There's also the observed test prep market. I think it's very important for us to understand opportunity hoarding because it's a mechanism for people to perpetuate racial inequality in our school systems, even when they claim to care about fairness, justice, and quality access, equal access. So let's take the time to discuss it accurately. And yeah, that's pretty much opportunity hoarding. None of the parents outwardly, like I talked about, and there's many other examples, but I'm just gonna leave that there. There's other examples of parents, opportunity hoarding, and it's not like they're evil. They're nice people. They smile, they'll talk to you. They're friendly. They work in really nice jobs. Some of them work for like MIT, Harvard. Some of them are physicians, like, you know, but they want the best for their children. And if that means stepping on yours, they will. They don't outwardly cut the throats of other kids, but then, use their connections, send a little, anonymous conversations. They pull a couple of strings and they make things happen. That's what they do. And that's opportunity hoarding. You get mad, you can get glad. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. I don't think equality in its truest sense, equality, equity in its truest sense will happen anytime soon. So what you can do is either play the game or you can wait until someone steps on your kid's neck unapologetically. And that's the way I look at it. I don't necessarily agree, but I understand how things work. And if you want to be like these friends, you got to make it sure it works in your favor. Like they're making it sure it works in their favor. So I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for joining, Mel and Dada. For those who are gonna listen to the playback, hope you enjoy this conversation and come through next Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, on the Black Women's Vibes YouTube channel for Black Women Friday live streams. The conversations always viewers' choice. I had a plain conversation. Mel came through and dropped her gems, and I continued the conversation. So it's always whatever the listener wants to hear, and I just make it happen like I do. You can catch Black Women's Vibes on YouTube, obviously, Black Women's Vibes, Facebook, Black Women's Vibes, Instagram, Black Women's Vibes, Twitter, Black Women's Vibes, and Patreon for exclusive content, Black Woman Vibes. If you're looking to book me for private live streams, advisor emails, speaking engagements, consultation services, all can be found on Facebook and Patreon. You can catch the Black Woman Vibes podcast Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on Libsyn, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and where Google Play, and wherever you listen to your favorite streams of music or podcasting. It's there, it's available. Give it a ear. You won't regret it. Everything is based on Black women empowerment, Black women making the best choices, and data, statistical data to back up the conversation. Um, yeah, and if you have something you want to drop to me, tell me. My email is business email. It is blackwomanvibes@gmail.com. So with all that being said, have a great weekend here in Massachusetts. It's supposed to be a little warmer today. Well, not today, tomorrow. And it's supposed to rain too, which I don't get, but whatever. It's supposed to hit like the low 70s, which is definitely a upgrade from the 40 and 50 degree weather that we've been consistently having. So I can't wait. But for y'all, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you take the information that was given within this live stream seriously, especially about that opportunity hoarding. Like we live in a vulturistic society. It is what it is. But the opportunity hoarding, especially when it comes to children, for a lot of y'all who just can't wait to push out a 15-pound baby out your cooch, please take please pay attention and take this very seriously so you can position your child to have the best quality of life and the best quality access to things that will invest them in their lives. Because trust me, believe me, other people are plotting and scheming to make sure their children get the best, even at the expense of your own child. And of course, with a smile, because harming children outwardly isn't a good thing. So, isn't it time for Black women to live and live well? Be the best version of yourself by mastering yourself. I am your hostess with the mostest. So let's get to toasting. BCNA, logging off. Peace.